Thousands of fans are paying their respects to the late rapper Nipsey Hussle, who is being honored with a memorial service in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. Hussle was shot and killed outside of his clothing store in L.A. nearly 2 weeks ago. 29-year-old Eric Holder is charged with his murder. Before his death, the 33-year-old Grammy-nominated performer tried to make a difference in his home city of L.A., focusing on efforts to boost education for disadvantaged children and talking with police about how to curb gang violence. Mola Lenghi is at the memorial service in Los Angeles. Hi, Mola. Tell us about the scene there. What's it like, and how is Nipsey Hussle being remembered today?
Well, yeah, Tanya, it's just a huge outpouring of emotion out here this morning. We've heard countless stories from folks about what Nipsey Hussle meant not only to the city of Los Angeles, not only what he meant to the Crenshaw neighborhood where he grew up and dedicated so much of his time and effort to turning that neighborhood around, but personal stories, what he meant to individuals, what he meant to people on a very personal level. And that's really just in the 2 hours, we've heard a lot of those stories really in the 2 hours before the service even started. You see folks lining up. This is just one of a few lines out here at the Staples Center. A few hundred people in this line, but all in all this morning, we've seen thousands of people line up at various entrances. And in these lines, we've heard music, Nipsey Hussle's music playing. We've talked to some folks who shared some of their anecdotes. One young man who recently moved from New York looked to Nipsey Hussle as an example. Someone who, he described himself as growing up in somewhat of a rough neighborhood in New York, came out to L.A., fell in love with initially Nipsey Hussle's music, and then started to look to him as a role model, an example, as an entrepreneur. So this young man fancies himself as a budding young entrepreneur. Another gentleman who came from Macon, Georgia, all the way from Macon to L.A. just to attend this because he appreciated what Nipsey Hussle meant to his community, the way that he gave back to his community. Another young lady we spoke to from San Diego, whose brothers she described as having been in and out of gangs in the San Diego area, and who also looked to Nipsey Hussle as an example and as a role model of someone who can get out of that life and can effect positive change in their community, who doesn't have to be defined by their past. So we've heard so many stories about the personal impact that Nipsey Hussle had on folks beyond the music. The rap music may have been what initially launched him to fame. It may be the reason why folks outside of Los Angeles know Nipsey Hussle, but here in this community, he is clearly so much more than a musician. He's someone who, as one person said, could have made his money and moved out to Malibu, moved out to Calabasas and had a good life, but no, he decided to come back to Crenshaw, buy property, create opportunities, build businesses in that neighborhood because he cared about that neighborhood, and he wanted to create those opportunities for folks. So we've heard so many of those stories just about the positive impact that he had, and beyond the stories, the numbers that we're seeing in terms of turnout, which is expected to be tens of thousands throughout the city of L.A. today, even later on as the procession slices its way through the city. That really is a testament to the legacy that Nipsey Hussle will leave in this city.
A somber day in Los Angeles. Mola Lenghi, thank you.